is a human being. We celebrate for the sacrifices that they make, for their commitment to making the world a better place.
Why is he mowing your dirt patch?
I'm showing him how the world works. You work, you get paid, you drink.
Are you drinking alcohol?
I honestly don't remember.
Since you're the last arrival, you get the first question, Bill. I want to know, when you first read this script, there's so many priceless lines and incredible scenes and great characters in what Ted wrote. At what point when you were flipping through it and reading through it did you say to yourself, I'm doing this?
I don't know when it really happened, but it was really meeting Ted and seeing what kind of guy he was and whether he had the stuff to see it through, you know. Because it takes an enormous amount of energy to make even a real piece of crap. Let alone something that you might acknowledge that you'd worked in. You know?
And Ted, the first meeting that you and Bill had, as I understand it, was at the airport. Why wasn't it in an office or a coffee shop like normal people?
From what I know of Bill, he likes to do a lot of his meetings on traveling. So he doesn't like to waste much time. So if it works out for him for a place for us to meet, it's usually an airport. The first was LAX. And the second airport, when I screened the film for him, was Atlanta. Yeah. And so he likes airports.
Hartsfield International out there.
Jaden, you're so incredible in this film, especially the second time. It's such a joy to watch the ease that you and Bill have together. In your everyday life, do you have grown-ups as good friends? Or is Bill the first grown-up you've become good friends with?
I think I have a lot of grown-up friends. But I think Bill was the craziest and the most different, but maybe the most fun.
Was there a moment, like often happens with these kind of films, where you felt it was this close to completely falling apart? And if so, how did you save it as a producer?
You know, this one was unusual in the sense that the material really spoke for itself, and I think there's such a dearth of really great material, and we assembled this awesome cast, and once we had Bill and Jaden, Jaden was actually the hardest to find. How many kids did we see?
1,600 kids to get to Jaden.
Also found Jaden at an airport. Hamburg.
Since Melissa's not here, and I just love Melissa's performance in this movie too. It's so different, but so great. I do have a question for you, Bill, about Melissa. In the press tour that she's been doing, she's been talking a lot about how panicked, and that's the word she used, she was to meet you for the first time. When you hear a story like that, does that make you feel flattered, or does it make you feel guilty?
It makes me concerned. Really, I guess there's maybe an element of flattery about it, but I don't want anyone to be panicked. A little bit of fear is okay, but I don't want panic. No, we don't want that. And guilty, hey baby, come on. This is how I roll. No, she, it's kind of a nice way of saying that. It's just because I've been around a while and I've been lucky. I've been very fortunate. So, people want to do their best, just because I've been around and I've done enough things. But she was, we like Melissa, right? And she played very, against what her popular type is, to play the straight part. And Naomi played the funny part, and they both were playing against what they usually play. And they both were incredibly game. All you can do is be thrilled that you've got someone that's willing to not be safe, not play safe, and to go for it. And they both went hard, and for Melissa to play not just the straight part, but like the mom part, the fractured marriage part, the next door neighbor to the ugly man part, all that stuff. That was a big challenge, and to do it and to really put her faith in Ted, and we don't really know Ted very well. You just had to take a chance, right? He's a first-time guy. He has no reputation except the stuff that you read on the walls in some of the restaurants in town, and that's not okay. But both those girls, and I call them girls because they're to me they're only just getting going, even though they've had great careers. They haven't even. There's a lot more coming.
Ted, you amassed, by my count, 4 Oscar nominees in your cast: Terrence Howard, Bill, Melissa, Naomi. What kind of made you more excited? The realization when you put the whole cast together, or when you were on set for that first day hearing this incredible group of actors say your words for the first time?
Number 2. Yeah. I
Why?
mean, the time I spent with Bill talking about the script and working on it and tweaking things, and the same thing with Melissa. I knew right away that this was going to be, I think it was going to be better than what I ever had written. And then the first time I heard them say the lines, it was just kind of like, it just blows you away, because they made it so personal for themselves, as all great actors do. But they found a place in themselves that was honest and went with it, and it was inspiring every day.
Which person on this stage would be most excited to have a reunion with the cat?
Well, I'm allergic to cats. I think Bill is allergic to cats. Melissa was allergic to cats. I think, was Naomi really? I don't know. So I would say no for me.
I don't want to bring everybody down, but the cat died. Yeah. No, I'm just saying that for the people here with allergies.
Hi, my question is actually for you. Jaden, is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
They said there were 1,600 children that auditioned for your part. So how did you prepare for the part, and how did you get it?
Well, getting the part was the hardest part. I had to memorize the speech scene. I had to, which is tough. And Ted made me work and work and work. It's like, you gotta memorize it. I don't know, it's so hard. But it was definitely the hardest part. The other scenes, what were the other scenes? It was...
The kid's not really a pro. So he doesn't remember all of his scenes. Remember scene 49? Well, you stunk that one up. You really didn't get it too well. I don't get to give this kid enough hard time. He's becoming like a big deal. We all hate him now.
Jaden, did you think you were going to get it, or were you shocked when you got it?
Oh, no, I didn't know I was going to get it. Well, the last audition, I met Ted, and he didn't seem that happy. Because I think he was working a lot, and I didn't think I was going to get it. I came out and I was like, oh, I don't know. But it was, yeah, I was shocked.
I'm glad you got it. Here's a question.
Hi, it's such a hometown picture, or hometown story. Is any of the characters or the story based on anybody from your childhood, or did you just come up with it, Ted?
Oh, yes. It's based on 2 true stories, so I'll give you the quickest version of it. 8 years ago, my oldest brother passed away. He left behind an 11-year-old daughter. My wife and I adopted her and moved her to Sherman Oaks from Tennessee. We put her in Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks. Her sophomore year in high school, she gets this homework assignment. Find a Catholic saint that inspires you and find someone in your life that mimics the qualities of that saint. She picked St. William of Rochester, the patron saint of adopted children, who Jaden picks, and she picked me. Oh, thank you. Anyway, that was the genesis of the script. That's the true story behind it. The second true story is Bill's essentially playing my father-in-law, who was my wife's father, who was, a Vietnam vet, drank too much, smoked too much, gambled too much, and stopped talking to my wife when she was 9. 25 years later, my wife goes to one of those Find Your Life seminars in Los Angeles, and she gets an assignment to get complete with the people in her life, make amends, and so she writes a Dear Dad letter, mails it to East Long Meadow, Massachusetts. 2 weeks later, the phone rings. Kim, it's your dad. And she got to spend the last 10 years of her life with her father, and she showed him his value and vice versa, and that's what I wanted for Vincent's character. So it's those 2 stories kind of pushed together.
Hi. This is for both Jaden and Bill, I guess, but it's a testament to you, Ted. This is such a honest script. It's such an honest story, and I was going to ask both of you guys how you came at the role and what you found in yourselves to kind of dig into that honest, feeling, and if you brought anything from your life. And Jaden.
Well, I tried to do whatever they said. When I was crying, Ted was pinching me. That helped. I memorized my lines and Bill's lines. Every day he would ask me, do you know my lines? So
yeah, it's true. That was. I had to make sure he was here with us. I would just say, "Do you know my lines?" And as time went on, he learned my lines more and more, and it was very helpful to me. But let's not forget. How old are you? 10 or 11 now?
I'm 11 now.
Yeah, you're 11 now. Yeah, but you still cannot be tried as an adult. But let's just all congratulate this kid. This is the high point of his life. And if he never makes another movie again, although he did make another after this one, he's a good boy. I'd just like to say, because the other guys aren't here, I'd like to say that Chris Dowd took an interesting, challenging part and played it perfectly. And Terrence Howard, who's always a bad guy, and I don't really think he is a bad guy, although people think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I really enjoyed him, and I thought he really brought very much of himself, very, very much of himself every day to work. I was really happy that he was there. I always felt like I got more than I needed. You know, when you work with someone, you wonder, are they going to give you what you need to work with them? And he gave me more than I needed. He was really good to work with. You know, the job it's like a funny gypsy life. You're thrown together in a very intimate way for several weeks or a couple of months, and then you're sent to the four winds. But during that time, there's a fierce, loyalty that you have and a devotion to the vision. And, it was kind of fun to have the two pretty girls on the job that were, pretty and funny, and the kid, and the funny guys, and the sort of first-time director who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So everyone's pulling together. We're all sort of in on this thing together, And every day, if you can make it the script better than it is every day, you think, hey, we're professionals. We're doing our job.
I'm Emily, and I wanted to say the movie was amazing, and I was wondering if I can get a picture with you all at the end.
Anyone else?
This movie is so fantastic, so thank all of you for being here tonight, and thanks you for sticking around. Have a great night.
Thank you.